Hello, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Chudi Ufondu of Snowspirations Global Health Solutions. Thank you and welcome to our open clinic in YouTube. Today is actually the very first clinic in YouTube in 2024. So I'm so happy we were able to make it to 2024. 2024 is going to be an interesting year in our community. It's going to be a time we're going to take a lot of stock. And one of the things that will happen in our community is the possibility of so many of our members transitioning into parenting. So there are so many people in this community that will become parents. There are so many people in this community that will become pregnant. And when they become pregnant, they're going to carry their pregnancy to term. They're going to go through first trimester. They're going to go through second trimester. They're going to go through third trimester, and they will eventually give birth, and they will become mothers and fathers. It will happen in this group. Now, I want to welcome you especially to January 2024. January is a very important month in any community. And in our community, it's important we know how to start ourselves on a high note. If you are believing God to become pregnant, if you are believing God to become a mother, to become a father, it's important you gain insight through the tips. There are certain things you must do to help you to succeed in becoming pregnant early. The earlier you become pregnant in January, the better. So what I'm going to do once we have a full house, I'm going to take us through simple, practicable, workable tips. Things you must observe starting today so you can maximize your possibility of becoming pregnant. And I want to recognize Dr. Ndiche. Dr. Ndiche just joined. I also want to recognize Chinyere. Dr. Ndiche is a co-provider. Chinyere is the moderator. So both of them are going to help us to have a smooth experience this afternoon. Today, we're talking about the top tips that will improve your chances of becoming pregnant early in 2024. So without wasting much time, we're going to start. Now, 2024 is already upon us, and there are so many of us that made a lot of New Year resolutions. And some of us believe in stars, in zodiac signs. So it's possible they've told you, oh, if you're Gemini, you're going to become pregnant. If you're Leo, if you're this, you're going to become pregnant. But here's the deal. Pregnancy doesn't happen in a vacuum. Pregnancy is a well-planned process. So if you believe in zodiac sign, you can believe whatever you believe. But if you don't do what you need to do, you're not going to approach conception the right way. So in SGHS, what we're going to do is to take through the scientific approach, the practical approach that will improve your chance of becoming pregnant. Now, it's important to understand that you have the potentials of becoming pregnant. So potentials are things that God already gave you. Now, if you don't use your potentials, you're going to lose it. So what we're going to do today is to remind you about the things you already know about. So across the board, so many experts, so many fertility experts actually recommended that couples that should become pregnant should start planning. Planning and execution will help you better in 2024. It's not just enough to show up and want to have this and want to have that. You have to plan, you have to execute. If you can plan and execute, it will be a little bit easier. For some people, it might be a little bit difficult, but difficult things are done by tough people. So if you're encountering infertility today, infertility is going to end. Infertility is not going to stay forever. So I'm going to take us through steps, tips. I want everyone to start applying. Now, the very first thing, you have to remember that it takes two. So if you really want to get pregnant in 2024, in January, you have to remember that both you and your partner must be on the same page. It takes two. That's as simple as it can be. It cannot be overstated. You need your male partner, you need your female partner. Both of you must be on the same page. A successful conception requires the sperm and the egg. So if you intend to become pregnant in 2024, you need your partner's sperm regularly, every other day. If you intend to become a father, you need to be depositing the sperm every other day in your woman. regardless of whatever challenges you're going to get, regardless of whatever trials you're going to get, regardless of whatever reasons you might not want to do it. So you need to remember you need each other. Besides the sexual aspect, you need to support each other. You need to love each other. You need to have each other's back. You need to make sure your preconception health is very important. Preconception health is your health before you eventually become pregnant. So both of you must work towards maximizing your opportunity, living healthy. Now, while so many women are going to bear the blame, depending on where you live. So if you live in Nigeria, the first person to blame when it becomes difficult to have a baby is the woman. Majority of the cultures out there in developing countries will always blame the woman. You have to understand that the blame is not only on the woman. Matter of fact, there should be no room for blaming. This is not a blame game. So if your partner has problem, it's not an opportunity for you to blame him or blame her. You support. So assuming the problem why you guys are having now is female infertility, it's not for you as the man to be using the problem your wife has to attack her. Don't do that. Now, don't do the same to the man. There are some women that can talk flippantly. They begin to talk to their partner based on their medical problems. For example, your partner might have low sperm counts or poor motility or poor morphology. In your moment of going crazy, don't use each other's health condition to attack each other. Support each other. If your partner is struggling in his fertility, if your partner is struggling in his sexuality, help him to get the knowledge he needs. Help him to see things differently. Help him to have a different approach. Help each other. There is no competition. So you don't go calling your partner names, the partner that will be the father of your kids. You don't go calling your wife name, the wife that will be the mother of your kids. Support each other. Challenges will come. Things that will lead to quarrel will come. Couples will definitely quarrel. But how you settle the quarrel is very important. So for the man, your sperm health is particularly important to external factors, to the diet you take, to the stress you have in your life. You have to maximize your opportunity starting from today. So remember, it takes two to make babies. It takes the sperm and the eggs to come together, and the man is at the driving seat. In every family, is the man that will lead, because it's actually the man that will determine if you're going to have a baby boy or a baby girl. It's the man. Without the sperm, there is no need for pregnancy. Now, number two, both for the females and the males, if you want to become pregnant in 2024 early, like this January, you have to start consuming your prenatal multivitamins immediately. There is no room for delay. There is no room for complacency. There is no room for excuses. Once you have nursed the eye there of becoming pregnant and you're making love without protection, start taking your prenatal multivitamins. We cannot say this enough. The best time to start taking your prenatal multivitamin is before you become pregnant. Matter of fact, 3 months before pregnancy and 3 months into that pregnancy, men and women are advised, because the benefits will encourage the men, will encourage the women. So it's not only the women. You know, we've been preaching the women to take their prenatal multivitamins. There are some multivitamins that men should also take. So for the woman, when you take your multivitamins, it will indirectly help your air quality. It will indirectly balance your hormones. And the event you conceive, if you have adequacy in the basic vitamins that should be in your body, your baby will be fine. So if your folic acid is enough and you're supplementing your folic acid in your prenatal multivitamins, by the time your baby is conceived, your baby is going to go through the first trimester without challenges. So please consume your prenatal multivitamins. For the males, please, there are age-specific prenatal multivitamins for men. Don't take your wife's prenatal multivitamins. You will not like the effect. Go for your specific gender, age-specific multivitamins. For the men, you need to make sure it contains a lot of folate, iodine, magnesium, vitamin D, calcium. They are all important components that will help you and your baby to be in good health. Number three, you have to embrace healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle is things we can control. So starting from today, there is absolutely nothing new you're going to learn. Healthy lifestyle simply means if you want to eat, you eat healthy. So eating well, getting regular exercise, getting a lot of sleep, drinking a lot of water, avoiding certain things you don't need. There are certain lifestyles, especially around festive period, There are so many men that will go out there and drink all the alcohol in the community, then they complain they can't impregnate their wife. This is not the time to go on alcohol binge. This is not the time to go on soda binge. If there are two things you should avoid starting today, if you want to get pregnant in January, alcohol and soda, you don't need them. Make sure you put in at least 30 minutes of exercise. You may find motivation in the fact that the healthier you are, the faster you become pregnant. And how can you become healthier? By eating well, by sleeping well, by drinking water, by exercising, by avoiding smoking, by avoiding drinking, by avoiding Igbo, by avoiding recreational drugs. They will not help you. So if you are already struggling with all this lifestyle, please keep on doing the best you can do. Please avoid all forms of stress. Stress is anti-pregnancy. Stress is anti-family. There are some stressors you can avoid. Then there are stressors you cannot avoid. The ones you can avoid, please avoid them. Stress is ubiquitous in this day and age. There are so many stressors out there that can flip the earth. So currently, we don't know if it's the stress itself that will aggravate infertility or the way people manage stress. Like some men can manage stress by drinking alcohol, by eating, by doing things that ordinarily they should not be doing. And they will tell you, oh, when I drink or smoke, I feel better. Avoid them. Things you will do to gain temporal solution is not going to help you on the long run. So avoid all forms of stress management that will not help you. The best way to manage your stress, find things you love doing. Go for yoga class, go for mindful exercise, go to the gym, talk to someone, go to the walk. Just do something that will uplift your mood. It will help to distress you. Now, when you also sleep better, sleep will also help to distress you. So please work on your stress level. Number 5, the earlier you talk to your doctor, the better. Please talk to your doctor sooner than later. Remember the reason why you need to talk to your doctor. Remember factor 35. 35 is a remarkable milestone in every woman's life. So if you're currently 35 and you have not been able to achieve pregnancy and it's up to 6 months and you've been doing the right things and pregnancy is not happening, at that point you need to escalate and go and see a fertility specialist. So talk to your doctor early. If you're 36, 37, 40, and after 6 months of doing the right things, you're healthy, you don't have a problem, and pregnancy didn't happen, talk to your doctor immediately. If you are below 35, so you're 34, you're 32, you're 29, you're 25, and pregnancy is not happening after 12 calendar months, please talk to a fertility specialist. The earlier you talk to a fertility specialist, the better. Now, there are some people that might already have an established medical problem. For example, you had fibroid prior to coming into your marriage. You had endometriosis, you had other gynecological problems. You don't need to wait. You need to talk to a fertility specialist immediately. So the earlier you talk to a fertility specialist, the better we can figure out what the problem is, then we can begin to look for solutions. Now, consider at-home fertility testing. So in some environments where they have access to a couple of things, you can actually check the sperm quality. There are some tests we can give you to check your sperm quality at home so you can know the best time to maximize your opportunity. Now, men have an advantage when it comes to fertility. A man that has poor sperm count and poor sperm quality in January can do better in April. Why? Because it takes 3 months to reproduce fresh sperm. Unfortunately for women, you don't have that liberty. When your eggs are gone, they are gone. So please maximize your opportunities. If you live in countries that support home fertility checking, especially for the men, you can use it to track your progress. But remember, in our group, we don't do anything that is not conventional. Now, you have to be very familiar with your cycle as a woman. The reason why you need to be familiar with your cycle as a woman is not to go timing your lovemaking. We don't time our lovemaking. We just make love every other day. But you need to know your cycle. You need to know the likely period you will ovulate. You need to know your fertility window so that if you have anything that will put impediments, for example, distance. So assuming you're in Abuja and your partner is in Lagos and you know your cycle properly, you can plot your fertility window. So if you guys cannot make love every other day, but you know that your fertility window is currently on, then you can travel about that time. So the reason why you need to know your cycle is not to time your lovemaking, but to apply the concept of fertility window if you guys have some problems. But if you guys are living in the same house, it doesn't matter. Just meet with your partner every other day. You will get pregnant. So please apply all these simple but mindful changes in 2024. Now be mindful of environmental toxins. There are so many things in your immediate environment. There are so many things in your bedroom. There are so many things in your kitchen. There are so many things in your offices that can affect your ability to become pregnant. So please be mindful of them. Think about things you put into your body. Think about things you expose yourself to. They can flip your hormones. So some of these things in the environment, the toxins can be what we call disruptors. So they can go to your estrogen and disrupt your estrogen. They can go to your progesterone and disrupt your progesterone. So they will no longer function the way that God planned it to function. So be mindful of your environment. Now, the bottom line, at the end of the day, understand this. You're going to get pregnant. You're going to be a mother. You're going to be a father. But how soon or how late you will become a mother, you become a father, is dependent on your decision, is dependent on your actions. So things you did previously that didn't yield results, stop doing them. Things you have not done, do them. Some people will need to get a subscription package. Some people will need help. Some people will need minor adjustments. Some people will need fertility drugs. Some people will need IUI. Some people will need IVF. Some people will need surrogacy. Some people adopt. Whatever works for you, please go for it. But understand that at the end of the day, pregnancy, motherhood, fatherhood is turn by turn. Your time will come. But please be ready when God summons you. The way you can be ready is to equip yourself with knowledge, is to have a good attitude, is to have good practices and perception, so that when your time comes, you will become pregnant. And you're not just going to get pregnant. You're going to carry your pregnancy to term. You're going to be called a mother. 2024 is going to be a golden opportunity. 2024 is when you will begin your journey into motherhood. 2024 is when you begin your journey into fatherhood. Nobody can change that. So if you can apply the 8 concepts, the 8 tips I've taught you now, you will become pregnant. So making plan of becoming pregnant is a great way to start early. Since external factors like nutrition, lifestyle, stress management, environmental toxins can influence your ability to become pregnant, I want you to plan ahead. So if you have to plan in 3 months, you make sure you're healthy, or 6 months, you make sure you're healthy before planning to start your family. Please do that. But please change. Forget all the predictions out there. Go and work out your salvation. Do the things you need to do, and God will do what God needs to do. Thank you so much for coming. At this stage, I'm going to allow you to start asking your questions. So the clinic is open now. If you have questions, ask. Share this particular video, especially this beginning of January. How you start your January is very important. If you start your January re-energized, if you start your January positive, if you start your January faithful, if you start your January hopeful, January is going to influence February. February is going to influence March. So there is no room for negativity. So the clinic is going to open now. Please start asking questions. If you are making love without protection and you hope to conceive, begin to take your prenatal multivitamins 3 months before the time you're going to conceive. No one knows the extra time they will conceive. So because we don't know, we need to be battle ready. Start asking your questions, please. Dr. Ndiche and Chinyere, since you guys are the only people visible in the clinic, I want you to ask me questions directly. I'll provide you feedbacks. So please start asking your questions. Remember our clinic days. My clinic days, it's Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So I will run another clinic tomorrow in Facebook. Then that's it for the week. So catch up with me on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Dr. Ndiche's clinic is Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then every other opportunity we use it to help you guys. Remember to keep the last Sunday of January open. It's going to be our masterclass. Now, something is cooking and it's going to be delicious. We are currently preparing a fertility course, a comprehensive fertility optimization course. You don't want to miss this opportunity. We are currently getting it ready. So if you have opportunity, if you want to get the course, if you want to have something that will help you to maximize your fertility, be on the lookout for that course. We're going to put up a couple of optimization notifications out there. Make sure you opt in so we can help you to begin the journey. Okay, let's start. Does alcoholic need a special motivated? Okay, so Dr. Ndiche is asking about an alcoholic. So an alcoholic is someone that is addicted to alcohol. And she's asking if that person needs a special multivitamin to achieve conception. So here's the deal. Alcohol will deprive you of your basic nutrients, of your basic vitamins. So possibility that someone that is alcoholic, both the male and the female might be anemic is there. Possibility they might be lacking in multivitamins that will help them to become pregnant is there. So the answer is yes. The person that is alcoholic needs to go for general assessment under the primary care physician. Then when that is done, we can take the blood sample, we can check the level of CBC, we can check other parameters, we can check complete metabolic panel, then of course we check the hormones. So depending on the inadequacy in our test, depending on the general physical examination, we can treat the person appropriately. First of all, we need to deal with the alcohol, because when you're drinking alcohol and you're not eating properly, you're depriving yourself of basic nutrients, basic multivitamins. So the possibility we're going to give you specific vitamins is very high. For example, you might be iron deficient, it might be vitamin B12 deficient, it might be vitamin folic acid deficient. So depending on what we find, we're going to give you specific multivitamin supplementation before you think of conception. So the answer is yes. Just like a man's sperm can improve with good nutrition, can same be for a woman's equality. Unfortunately, the only factor that can help you to maximize your quality is your age. But of course, overall, because God has already given you the eggs, so good lifestyle, good living will indirectly affect your quality. But unfortunately, there is no one drug we can give you to improve your air quality. And unfortunately, there is no way to kind of check it scientifically. The ones we can check is the quantity. So we can collect your blood sample and check your anti-Mullerian hormone and check the quantity of the eggs you have remaining. But the biggest predictor in the quality of egg is age. So as you're getting older, the quantity and the quality of your eggs will be depreciating. Unfortunately, when your eggs are gone, they are gone. So the answer to your question, Chinyere, is yes. So good nutrition and good food and avoiding stress will indirectly affect your hormones. And if it affects your hormones are going to be optimal. You're going to ovulate the eggs you have. So the answer is yes. What can couples having infertility of unknown origin do to achieve pregnancy? So regardless of your diagnosis, it's possible you've gone and we didn't find anything from the man, we didn't find anything from the woman, and you're wondering where the problem is coming from. So it's a stepwise management. First of all, you still have to continue making love every other day. Then you need to go and enroll to a fertility specialist. When you get to the fertility specialist, we can place you on fertility drugs. If that one works, we thank God. If fertility drug doesn't work, we graduate to IUI. If we're going for IUI, we can either use your natural ovulation or we give you ovulation induction drugs. If IUI fails, we step up to IVF. If IVF fails, we step up to surrogacy. If surrogacy fails, we step up to adoption. So management of infertility of unknown origin is a stepwise process. So we have to start from baseline. Now, I'm going to say this, Chinyere, I want you to capture this for me. Regardless of your infertility situation, regardless of your diagnosis in 2024, keep on making love. Any woman can spontaneously become pregnant. Chinyere, I want you to capture all these bullet points, and we're going to share it in our groups. Any woman at any time can spontaneously become pregnant, despite the infertility challenges. So you might be shopping for your IUI money. You might be shopping for your IVF money. And suddenly, because God said so, that remaining egg you will release. Your partner's sperm will be available and you can become pregnant. So we've had so many women that were looking for money for IUI and IVF, but because they were still making love, they become pregnant. We've had women that had failed IVF, failed IUI, but because they are going through the natural way, they became pregnant. So what am I trying to say? Regardless of your challenges, regardless of your diagnosis, regardless of male factor infertility, regardless of female factor infertility, pregnancy is still possible. If you still have eggs, even if it's one egg, God is able to use that one egg to make you a mother. Matter of fact, if you are older than 35, even when you have fewer eggs, possibility of having multiple pregnancy increases as you get older. Chinyere, capture that for me too. Okay? All right. Can weight affect a couple's chances of conception? 100%, both for the females and the males. So based on this, it's important you make sure your health and your weight is in the normal range. Now, how can you know if your weight is in the normal range? You use your BMI. So admin, if it's possible, share the links for calculating your BMI. Your BMI stands for body mass index. For you to calculate your BMI, you need to know your body weight in kg. You put the number on top. Then you know your height in meters. You put the number below squared. Whatever number you get, we don't want it to be below 18.5. We don't want it to be above 24.9. And of course, we don't want it to be in the 30s. We want your numbers to be between 18.5 to 24.9. So your body weight, if it's underweight, if it's overweight, if it's obesity, can affect your fertility, both for the females and the males. So your aim in 2024 is to maintain a healthy body weight. How can you maintain a healthy body weight? Two things. You eat right and you exercise. If you can eat appropriately and if you can stay active, your body weight will be regular and you will have an opportunity of becoming pregnant in 2024. Keep asking me questions. I'm going to give extra 4 minutes so we can wrap at 30 minutes. So if you still have questions, Dr. Ndiche asks, Chinyere, keep asking me questions, okay? So remember the steps you have to take to become pregnant faster in 2024. You have to understand that it takes 2, okay? It takes 2. So for the women, you have to take care of your vagina. You have to take care of your cervix. You have to take care of your womb. You have to take care of the tubes. You have to take care of the ovaries. These are the female internal reproductive system. So if you have this, it's a testament, it's an evidence, it's a reminder that you're going to be a mother, regardless of your challenges. So look after this. This is a constant reminder that you can still become pregnant. When God gave you this for a purpose. All the women that have this is a testament that you're still going to be a mother. Nothing can stop you. Okay? Do we still have any question? Keep asking your questions. The next clinic in YouTube will be on Saturday, next Saturday. My next clinic in Facebook will be on Wednesday. In my clinic in Facebook is going to be on our page and our group. So once you're in our page and our group, you can always catch up with me. And when you're coming, you come with your questions. Now, if you live in Nigeria, you have a lot of advantage. I don't think you understand. If you need to talk to me, if you need to have me consult you, review your case, refer you to a good doctor that will take care of you, get a subscription package. So you can get 1 week package, you can get 1 month package, you can get 3 months package, you can get 6 months package, you can get your ANC package. You also need to understand that when you become pregnant, it's not the end of the story. We want you to become pregnant. We want you to have a healthy pregnancy. We want you to have your baby. So pregnancy is not the end. Some women will become pregnant and they will be careless, and unfortunately, they will have miscarriage or stillbirth. We don't want anything happening to your baby. We want you to become pregnant and have your baby. Very, very important. So all the pregnant women in our community, make sure you register for our ANC. We have a public listed ANC in Telegram. Then we have a private ANC. So whichever one you decide to use, just make sure you use them. Very important. Your ANC is antenatal care. Once you are pregnant, safeguard your baby. The biggest insurance you can give your baby is to get into ANC program. I'm talking about ANC under us. Of course, by default, you have to have your ANC on ground. You have to go to the best doctor on ground to make sure you register so they will look after you and your baby. Once you are pregnant, especially if you are pregnant above 35, your pregnancy is classified as high risk. So you need to have a good doctor that will be there for you. Make sure that everything is going okay until you have your baby. Okay, so it looks like we've come to the end of today's clinic. So I don't have any other questions. So I'm going to take my leave, and I want to appreciate you guys. I want to encourage you to keep on keeping on. I want to encourage you to keep on making love. I want to encourage you to keep on trusting each other. Keep on taking your prenatal multivitamins. Avoid alcohol, avoid soda, drink a lot of water, sleep. Make sure you love each other. Make sure you love yourself. Make sure you protect your sanity. Make sure you protect your mental health. Talk less. Have fewer friends that care about you, but do something. Don't allow anybody deceive you. You can be a mother. You can be a father. Until I see you guys again, thank you so much for coming. Dr. Diche, thank you. Chinyere, thank you so much. I will see you guys again next Saturday. Bye-bye for now.